All right, Shalom. Before we begin this lesson, we want to give all honor, praise, and glory unto our Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. We want to give a double honors to the elders and the apostles out there, chiefly of Great Millstone, where us three learned this truth from. Okay? And we want to give a Shalom to you people that look like these other nations, but your seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and your spirit bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. And you're doing your best to diligently keep the laws of the Most High and learn that under the correct doctrine, okay, which is taught by the elders and the apostles on down of Great Millstone, okay, because they're the true prophets and the leaders of the house of Israel, the tabernacle of David in these end times. Okay, which the Most High is raising up. Okay, I want to give a shalom to you sisters, you akwaf out there that are in order, that are being submissive unto your own husbands, humble, you're not being proud, you're teaching your children the right way, okay, and, taking care of your husbands, man. And doing a good job at setting a good example to these younger sisters these days on how you're supposed to live. All right, we want to say shalom to you. You're precious in our eyes. Okay. This lesson today, we pray that it's edifying through the spirit and power of Yahawah Hashem Yahweh Shai. But this lesson today, we're going to focus on, this topic of clean and unclean meats, man. Because you got a lot of people out there in Christianity that seem to think that the Bible justifies us being able to eat whatever we want, man. And that you have no understanding of the Bible if that's what you believe. And that's the problem with Christianity. And most of you Christians are not going to make it in what's coming in this world very soon. Okay? And you haven't taken heed to the real teachers that the Most High set up. Because you don't like what we speak, you want to be taught smooth things. You want to be taught deceits, and you want to be taught things that make you feel comfortable, that give you a license to sin and do whatever the hell you want, man. It's absolutely disgusting, and we're here to address that, man, okay? Because you've been taught lies in your Christian church, in this false religion called Christianity, which the Bible has nothing to do with religion, man. This Bible has nothing to do with Christianity. Okay, and it wasn't given for everybody in this earth to understand the deep breakdowns and the mysteries of this Bible, and we're going to get into that, man. Okay, because your Christian pastors have been deceiving you, and there's great judgment coming to them for what they've done. Okay, leading you astray, man. So we're going to get into this topic on unclean and clean meats, and hopefully, bring this to an end, this madness, this confusion, because the Most High is not the author of confusion. And you people out there in Christianity are sowing a whole bunch of confusion when you telling people that are trying to seek righteousness, you're telling them that we can eat anything. And you try to use the scriptures to justify, you know how wicked that is? Has to be addressed, man. We have to obey the laws to the best of our ability. Nothing has changed. For some reason, you lot seem to think, oh, that's the Old Testament, so that don't matter today, as if the Most High has changed his mind, Absolutely hideous, your doctrine, because you Christians take everything for face value. Oh, Adam and Eve, they were naked. It was a talking snake. And man, you have no understanding of these scriptures. And when we're shaking you trying to tell you what these scriptures actually say, you got a problem with it. And you buck up and want to call us false prophets or, a hate group or whatever, man. Absolutely shameful. And you're going to be put to shame in the end, man, when you realize that you were wrong and we were right. And that day is coming, man.
Yeah, so just to jump off the back of what my brother was just bringing, this is a precept. Because a lot of Christians will say that the Old Testament is the Old Testament. We don't fall under the Old Testament anymore. We go by the New Testament. This is in the New Testament. This is Hebrews chapter 10, verse 7. And it says, "Then said I, Lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me to do thy will, O Most High. So the scriptures, you have to read it in its entirety. That means the Old Testament, the Apocrypha, and the New Testament.
That's right.
You can't take any of these scriptures out and think you're going to get the full understanding. You have to have the whole book, eat the whole roll.
That's right.
So this is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 7. And it's going into the dietary law of what you can eat. Okay, and it says, and swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. Verse 8, of their flesh shall ye not eat, and of their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you. That's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
The swine, you cannot touch it.
Sorry, can you read also about the camel? Because camel and rabbit is in there. It's all in there, but I think it's along the same lines also, the camel. The reason why is that a lot of Islamic countries actually allowed the eating of camel as well. You know what I mean? And that's and they are incredibly against the eating of swine's flesh. But without the law, statutes, and commandments, you'll find someone going off in another way. You know what I mean? So they're gonna be eating all type of camel, all type of rabbit, things like that, which we're not supposed to, which we are not supposed to touch. You know what I mean? So when you stick to the law, statutes, and commandments, it's actually a strict social conduct, but you can still have the world of fun. We've got a lot of holy days where we can drink a bit of wine, because the whole thing is, they talk about the drinking of wine and that it's unsanctified or haram and things like that. I know we're focusing mainly on the Christian side of things and but also there's other religions out there who proclaim to have the truth, but they go off from the actual laws of the Most High. Yeah.
Okay, so this is Leviticus chapter 11, verse 4. It says, nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the hoof, as the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you.
All right. So really, if you want to follow the Most High's laws, things that are eaten by people who proclaim to have the actual truth, really, when you look into the laws of the Most High, you understand that they don't have the truth, because they will reject the wine, but they will take on. And we know that if we drink wine in excess, that's sinning. But, it was, according to the scriptures, it was made to make man glad, But here's people that are telling us, okay, you don't drink wine, but we'll eat that camel, which is actually an unclean meat.
That's it, man.
You know what I mean? It's an unclean thing to eat. But they'll eat it with glee, camel's hump and whatnot, sell it in their markets and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, I just wanted to bring that out.
Can I just read verse 6 as well? Because this is another one I think is a misconception, that people think that you can eat.
Yeah.
It says, and the hare, which is the rabbit,
yes,
because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. So that means the rabbit, people are thinking, in the times that we're coming into now, that, with food shortages, they're going to be able to, shoot the rabbits, because the rabbits multiply, like really quick. So we can eat rabbit meat. The rabbit's unclean to you. You can't eat that.
Yeah.
Sorry, the thing is, like, you can take any meat in this earth, and with the right seasonings and stuff, you can make anything taste good. So just because bacon tastes good or whatever, I used to eat bacon before I knew the laws. And there's plenty of other meats out there that are clean that we're allowed to eat, that, you ain't missing out on nothing. Just avoid eating what the Most High hates in order to save your life. Is that hard to do? It's not hard to do, man. Okay? Esau will make anything taste good, man. And you lot are falling for the okie doke, man.
Yeah. Case in point, like, you got bacon, pork bacon. It's not clean for you, but you can eat turkey bacon.
That's right, man.
It's an alternate. You know what I mean?
Alternative,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like sugar. You know, you can have like the sugar cane, which isn't good for you. It can, you know, cause a lot of things down the road. Or you can eat natural sugar. You know, I mean, there's things that were made naturally for our benefit. Yeah, honey, for example.
Yeah, like in terms of the rabbit and stuff. When you get like real deep into the law, there's we cannot handle the swine in any way. We can't touch it. You know what I mean?
That's how unclean it is. We're not even allowed to touch its carcass, man. But you lot are eating it.
Yeah. But when you get to, you know, that's why you got to know the scriptures to navigate through this life. So when you get to things like the rabbit and stuff, you know, in the times we're coming into, you can make a coat. You know, you can sell the meat to a heathen. You know what I mean? Because even an ox or a sheep that drops dead, we're not allowed to sell it to a fellow Israelite when you go back into the law, but you can sell that to a heathen.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
True, that's true.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like with things like rabbit meat and things, say it was an economic collapse, which is not very far from reality at the moment. Say it was some sort of governmental collapse, whatever, and you couldn't rely on supermarkets and whatnot. You know, there's things like rabbit out there, whatnot. You could make a hat or clothing. I'm just giving an example. I'm speaking hypothetically. And the meat you could sell to a heathen because the scriptures don't say we can't touch a hair. You know what I mean? But it specifically says we cannot touch the swine. You know what I mean? So the swine, you really just got to leave alone. You can't even feed it to your dog, because what does feeding to your dog mean? Holding it and cutting it up. You know what I mean? And so these are the things you got to study the scriptures to navigate in the times that are coming. You know what I mean? Like camel, a lot of these Islamic people want to eat camel and do eat camel, you know, and have camel as a high delicacy, but it's unlawful. You know what I'm saying? You can't touch it. You can't eat it. You know? So the real law, statutes, and commandments reside with the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And you got to get into them to know what's what.
That's the right way, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Because Yahawah is known as the Word. He's the Word that was made flesh. And he also describes himself as the way, the truth, and the life. So he's the way, the right way. Yeah. This word, man.
Yeah.
Okay? You got to put it all together, pieces of the puzzle together. But you know, these laws and statutes and commandments, they're here for our benefit. They're not here to make your life harder or take away your fun. Oh, the Lord said I can't eat that. You know, he's a big bully in the sky, man.
I'm eating what the fuck I won't eat, because I'm hungry down here. God gonna understand that. I'm hungry down this bitch. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn, bitch. I eat pork, people, police. Bitch, I eat, bitch, yeah. Bitch, I chop the bitches up. I don't give a fuck. Tomorrow. I can't eat pork. I'm hungry as a fuck down this bitch. And a motherfucker telling me I can't eat pork. What kind of religion is that? I'm sorry. Fuck that. I'm hungry. I'ma eat whatever the fuck. God can be right there in my ear. Son, do not digest the animal that you flip the fuck out. Wow. Flip the bird on his ass. I'm hungry as a bitch. He telling me, son, do not digest the animal. Man, get the fuck on, God. Get your ass on right now. I love you now. Shoot your ass on. Telling me not to eat what I'm supposed to eat.
That's what you lot think. But he's doing it to help you. You don't understand. Because a lot of you are stubborn as hell. You just don't like rules, man. Not even if it's rules that are going to save your life. You know, tell you to stop smoking cigarettes. could do what I want. And then you end up dying like a year later of cancer, wishing you would have listened to them people that told you to stop smoking. It's the same thing, man. You know? Have you seen them pork worms that people pull out their body? You know, they get pulled out their body when they're in surgery. It's disgusting, man. And I know there's all types of meats in this world that will give you worms. It ain't just specifically the pork, but pork is one of the worst of them, man.
Yeah, and that's why going into the food thing again, into the meats, we're not allowed, as Israelites, you're not allowed to eat blood. You know, because where does the disease reside within meats? Right. It resides in the blood. That's why you have to cook your meat to a fully cooked state.
Well done.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it has to be fully cooked without you know, a residue of blood left in it. You can't eat a blue steak. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I got a precept on that.
Yeah,
just to bring out what you were saying. And it says, this is where it's written in the law, because obviously, you know, we have to prove all things. Okay. So what my brother was just bringing out in regards to the blood, this is Leviticus 7:26. It says, moreover, ye shall eat no manner of blood, whether it be of fowl or of beast, in any of your dwellings. Whatsoever soul it be that eateth any manner of blood, even that soul shall be cut off from his people.
That's right. You know, the Most High is very strict about food. Okay, you lot might think it's a light thing. We're just gonna eat it. We're gonna crap it out tomorrow, and then that's that done. What harm did I do? I didn't hurt anybody. And this is your attitude about it, man. But these laws are put in place for a reason. So you cannot eat your steak rare. I don't care how much these heathen around there tell you, oh, try it, it's juicier, it tastes better, You know, let them do that, man, because they ain't these laws ain't given to them. Okay, that's a heathenistic tradition. Let these heathens eat their steak raw or whatever they want to do, still moving on the plate, man. You know, that ain't for us to do. Stop copying these people. We're in the land of our captivity, even to this day. And we're not supposed to learn the ways of the heathen, the Bible says, man. Learn not the way of the heathen. Choose none of their ways, man.
Yeah. Yeah, like a lot of people eat, there's something called a blue steak, where they just touch it on either side and then they eat it.
They're doing that with chicken in like Japan too, man. You know, how they're still alive, I don't know. They're doing it with chicken. What the heck, man?
But what is sin? Sin is transgression of the law.
That's right.
And what is the wages of sin? The wages of sin is death. So, you know, ultimately, after consuming a lot of blood, you're going to get some sort of disease. After consuming a lot of pork, like how you said, all type of worms and stuff like that. Those worms are there to eat you from the inside, you know? Make your life crap.
They take your nutrients away from your body and stuff. Like when you're eating food, they eat the nutrients out of it, man. They make you very unwell. Okay, they're parasites, man.
And ultimately, death is the end result. You know,
you got to look at it like this, right? So you got a manufacturer that builds cars, and they give you an instruction manual on how to take care of that car. So you're not going to have a car that takes gasoline or petrol in the UK, and then you're going to put diesel fuel in it. You know what I mean? You're going to wreck the engine. So the scriptures tell us what to put in our engines, our temples. You know, that's good for us.
Yeah.
And he says, stay away from these things because they'll break down your engine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's as clear as day as it is. You know, you don't want to break down your engine too fast. You know, the Lord is trying to make sure you live a long, healthy life.
He created life. Man.
Yeah, exactly. The one who created you is telling you how to live your life to the best, to get the best optimum performance out of your life. You know, but if you want to sit there and you know, just do the complete opposite, you know, he says, oh, don't eat pork, so I'm going to eat it. Don't be mad when your body starts breaking down. And like my brother said, these parasites start eating all the nutrients and your arm starts falling off.
That's right. Man.
Well, I mean, you probably won't have that, but you'll get something like diabetes or something, or high blood pressure.
Yeah, and you might have a heathen at work who says, "Oh, I've been eating pork my whole life and I'm still okay." He's not okay, but really he's more better off than you, because the laws were given to you and they weren't given to him.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So transgression of the law for you has a much higher consequence.
That's right.
You know what
That's
I mean?
true.
You look at how these other heathens look in their old age, man. Like they're just broken down like a hunchback. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's from eating them abominations.
Yeah.
And the thing is, our people naturally, like, you'll find the majority, out of all nations in the earth, I think it's our people that are mostly inclined to not eating pork. And it's spiritual. It ain't because you just, we all know that we're not supposed to eat pork. It's because us, naturally, we just don't cleave to that meat, man, like these heathen do, man. They love sausages and bacon, and they're big on pork chops and all that crap, man.
What's a delicacy there? Black pudding. It's like fried blood or something.
Yeah,
Disgusting
man.
shit.
Pig's blood, I think, isn't it?
So to me, that is one of the most abominable foods you can get.
And chitlins, that's like the dirtiest part of the dirtiest animal.
Because you're not supposed to have the blood, and you're not supposed to have the pig.
That too,
you know what I mean? So now you've got something made out of the blood of the pig. Oh my God.
Yeah, man.
It just baffles you when you think about it, man. Like, why would you eat that? Like, just thinking about it. I've never had it before, but just thinking about it, it's just like, well, I can only imagine what a pig intestines taste like.
Oh, have you seen the way they prep chitlins? I'm gonna bring out a video showing you how they prep chitlins, man. It's disgusting, and you lot want to eat that?
I mean, people eat up to the snout. I know because I've seen it. People eat up to the snout, to the feet, to the ear.
And this is what's in sausages. Because what they're doing in these factories, they grind up all the bits that they can't sell in the shops. Who's going to want to line up in the shop and buy a pig snout and this and that, So they'll grind up all these bits of the animal that they want to continue to make money off of, because this world is governed by the lust of money, the root of all evil, the love of money. So they'll use this to put in your food to make things like sausages. And all you see is meat in a sack, thinking that sausage is just good meat, because when you cook it and after all the flavorings and stuff put in it, then it tastes good to you. But what you don't understand is that's all the leftover crap that they don't want, the eyelids and the cartilage, and you know what I mean? Disgusting parts of the animal, man, the tongue, the eyeballs, the heart and all that, man. And you lot are just eating that. You're none the wiser, just not knowing what's going in your vessel, man. Okay? And another thing, if you notice, but a lot of you ain't going to notice this, because really you have to have the eyesight to see this. But a lot of these movies, they promote eating crab and shrimp and lobster, which is another abominable meat. They promote that as a delicacy amongst our women.
You know what, Frogface? You made me miss Crab Fest. I haven't missed Crab Fest in 7 years, so I'm not in a good mood at all.
Really? It wasn't on your schedule.
I think you kind of owe me a crab dinner.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. You got it.
Our women love that, man. They line up for some crab legs and some lobster and all that, man, thinking it's a delicacy. Thinking if, they want a man to take them out of the date, you got to buy them crab legs and this and that, man.
So what we're not going to do is normalize eating bottom feeders, aka waste. A friend sent me this post today and asked me if this was true. This yellow coloring is the crab's pancreas, which is a digestive gland that removes waste. So why would you eat it? Everything that lives and breathes has a way of releasing waste. You done turn eating waste into a delicacy. But you know what? I know you don't care because you eat chitlins too, huh?
The purpose of those crustaceans and things like that is to clean toxins out of the water.
That's right, man.
You know, and clean all types of impurities and crap out of the water. You know what I mean? That could go into dead bodies, carcasses under there. That could go into toxins, all types of dirt.
That's it. The things that die and float and sink to the bottom of the ocean, the crabs and all that are down there eating that, man.
They eat that.
They're bottom feeders.
Yeah, and you can read about that in Leviticus chapter 11, verse 9 on down. Tell you about what the things you can eat in the waters are. Fish, fins and scales.
You know, I actually want to bring out a video in this lesson about the clams, because those clams, those oysters, they clean the ocean, and there's an actual video that I have in mind I want to bring out for you to see what the purpose of these things are, and the fact that you're taking these out the ocean at a mass number, a large number, you're eating them, and that's making the oceans dirty. It's throwing off the whole ecosystem, man.
In North America, we have over 300 species, making us the most diverse continent of freshwater mussels. In addition to that, they're considered ecosystem engineers. And similar to other filter feeding bivalves, they can alter their environments for the better and positively affect their ecosystems and everything else that lives within the ecosystem. So filter feeding is an interesting process by which mussels draw down water and pass the water over their specialized gills. As these particles are trapped on these sieve-like gills, the water is continually passed, the particles are retained by the mussel, and then it'll go into all their other digestive parts where they ultimately can digest and get nourishment from these particles. And the water that's ejected from the mussel is then cleaner. So they're filtering water and they're clearing the water, making light penetration possible. And so things like submerged aquatic vegetation can grow. They're excreting all their feces to the bottom, allowing for fertilization for other organisms to eat. They're providing three-dimensional structure for other fish and invertebrates to hide and kind of live within. They're also important in terms of clean water. Areas that have no mussels tend to be, darker, more turbid. The water clarity isn't as great as those areas with mussels. It's remarkable when you are snorkeling and you go through an area that does not have mussels, your visibility may be 2 or 3 inches in front of your face. And when you happen to go over a bed of mussels, the difference is so stark that you can now see almost a foot, 2 feet in front of your face just because of that mussel bed filtering the water and filtering out those particles. Just by them existing in that ecosystem, the water clarity has increased, the water quality has increased, there's more diversity, and the ecosystem as a whole is healthier with these mussels in play. And so they're the glue that holds all these different pieces together. Without mussels, the areas simply aren't as diverse with other organisms, and quite frankly, it'd be less of an interesting place. Overall, by this process of mussels simply filtering water to meet their energetic demands in order to eat and survive, we're left with cleaner water.
We are not supposed to be eating bottom feeders. Here in the UK, we have certain days of the week where the bin man will come around. I mean, it's like that worldwide, really. But there's a brown bin over here where our food waste goes into, right? And the brown bin man will come and take the brown bin. Now, in the ancient world, we didn't have a brown bin man coming. We had pigs, we had swine. They're the bottom feeders. They're the garbage disposal, because those things will eat anything. They'll eat the bone, the whole lot, man. Those things were created as a natural garbage disposal of the Most High, because every man is supposed to have their own land with their own animals, including swine, as a garbage disposal. Okay?
Yeah, that's right. That's what it is.
We gotta wake up, bro. This shit, what are we eating? This is pork? This looks more like skin. this, you see this? What you say about that, twin? That look.
This is turkey.
Uh-huh.
You don't got no blood like that for
no
real.
extra blood.
Now go to the
Now you
port.
see this right here?
It's extra blood
Why it's all red?
everywhere.
Why it's all red? Like what is this? Why is you eating feet, fam? This is gross. The word tells you not to eat no ew, bro. I see what, bro. The word tell people not to eat it. This is a whole hand right here, fam. What's going on, fam? Like, you feel me, bro? Like, it's Brody. We eating it. Look at that. They're like a brain, fam. We eating this today. Come on, y'all. Let's follow our words, please. This stuff is killing us just like it was killing everybody. They've been killing everybody with the food.
The pig in its proper role is actually lawful. You know, in its proper role is lawful. I mean, if you had a farm and you had a pig on that farm that ate all your waste products,
That's its job.
that's okay.
And we're not supposed to eat that animal just because it has flesh or just because you can put spices in it and make it taste good, man.
Yeah, the consumption of that animal now the Most High has a problem.
Yeah.
You know?
Now he's angry with you, you know. And
Yeah.
we're going to bring out a few scriptures, and these scriptures exist because they're for our learning. You're supposed to learn from these scriptures what you can do and what you cannot do.
Because you will have certain Christians or should I say pastors in these churches that will teach you that it's okay to eat these animals. And they'll use scripture to back that up. But what we're, most high willing we're here to do today is to bring out those exact same scriptures that you use, but show you the precepts to where it shows you not to use them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's for your edification. So you can see for yourself that these preachers and these pastors are telling you lies that are going to cause you to get killed or to be destroyed.
So,
Yeah, because sin is when you're not following the law.
it's a transgression of the Most High's
Transgression
laws,
of the
man.
law,
That's
yes.
right. That's
Sin
what
is
it
the
is.
transgression of the law.
Mhm.
So for you to say the law is done away with, you'll have to say there's no more sin left within the earth.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So you got that. You got sin. If you still acknowledge that there is sin, then you acknowledge that there is a law. Because transgression, you're transgressing what? A law, an
That's right.
actual
The Most High's
covenant.
laws, man.
You
And
know
who
what
was the
I'm saying?
law given to?
Israel.
And the law, who is the law given? I mean, really and truly, we're trying to reach the elect. You know what I mean?
I just want to quickly read the book of Deuteronomy because this is also involving what we can eat and what we cannot eat. So if you're taking notes out there or paying attention as you should, then you need to jot this down in your notebook or highlight it in your Bible, okay? But this is Deuteronomy chapter 14. I'm going to start at verse 2 because it's relevant that I start at verse 2. It says, "For thou art an holy people unto Yahawah thy power, and Yahawah have chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself, above all nations that are upon the earth." Now you have 18 nations in this earth, but the nation of Israel consists of 12 tribes, which predominantly are you so-called blacks, which the world calls Negroes or black people or colored, you so-called Latinos, and you so-called Native Americans. You are the children of Israel. You're considered above all these other nations. We're not supposed to follow in the ways of these other nations. We were given the law to be an example and a light unto all these nations and show them the right way. Okay, you and Christians, all you're doing is going to church, clapping your hands, singing, getting robbed, and thinking you learned something. You ain't learned nothing. This Bible's a big book, and you lot ain't learned nothing. You'll learn a lot more watching our videos than what you'll ever learn in the Christian church, man. Okay? So we're a holy people, a peculiar people unto the Lord. Okay, we're different than all these other nations. We're more spiritual by nature. We're connected to the earth, and the animals, Verse 3, it says, "Thou shalt not eat any abominable thing." That's the commandment. What? Since Yahawah, who you called Jesus, died on the cross, now all of a sudden this is null and void? Come on, man. The Most High never changes, and he's not the author of confusion. Verse 4, it says, these are the beasts which ye shall eat, the ox, the sheep, and the goat. Ox, sheep, and goat is beautiful. Oxtail, man. If you ever ate oxtail stew or oxtail, you know, I make oxtail quite a lot, man. It's really good. It's a good meat. You know, we're supposed to cut the fat off of it, which a lot of people don't do, you know. And if you don't cut the fat off of it, don't eat that fat, man, you know. Because I know it can be quite difficult to cut all that fat off of an oxtail. I ain't gonna lie. But, you know, you got to keep these laws to the best of your ability, man. It says the sheep and the goat, you know. Sheep, that's lamb, you know. Hey, lamb is good. It's a good meat. It's actually a requirement for us to eat the lamb on the Passover.
That's right.
It's a clean meat. These are clean meats. You can look at these animals and tell they're clean meats just by their looking at them. And goat, I make curry goat all the time. Good meat, man. Good food, you know. When it's cooked right, boy. Curry goat, man. That's the one, you know. I'm going to jump down to verse 8. It says, and the swine, because it divideth the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean unto you. Because in order for a food to be clean, it has to divide the hoof and chew the cud. It can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
Okay? And with the animals in the ocean, it has to have scales and fins. Can't have one without the other, man.
Even with certain fowl, you can't eat every fowl.
That's it. And the fowls have a rule too. You know, these are rules that are given to us by the one that gave us life. And who are we to question him?
Yeah, but if you look at what we can eat, it's more than enough.
It is more than enough.
More than enough for anybody.
Good foods for our body, man.
Yeah. You know, and we're dealing with the meat. We haven't even touched onto the vegetation and the herbs, you know. Those things, really and truly, you should be eating more of that than any meat, you know. But when you eat meat, make sure it's lawful meat, you know. Like, and what my brother was saying there, you can eat the things like you mentioned, ox, sheep, goat. You can include deer and antelope in that, you know, as long as they chew the cud, you know.
That's right. So I'm going to finish off verse 8. It says, I'm going to start again. It says, and the swine, because it divideth the hoof, yet cheweth not the cud, it is unclean to you, and ye shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. You know, specifically, we're not allowed to even touch that animal, man.
So that's twice. Leviticus and Deuteronomy, it says it.
Says the same thing. That's how you go precept upon precept to show people what the Bible is actually saying, man.
And the New Testament, so-called New Testament, didn't disannul that.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
In spite of what you've been told.
Now, it goes a bit further, you know. I ain't going to get into the details of every single animal that we can eat and what we can't eat, because we'll be here all day.
Yeah.
But you can read it for yourself. We've already explained to you where these scriptures are. Read it on your own time. Take them serious, man.
That's right.
We're approaching a time of great death, according to prophecy. We're in the end times. A lot of people are going to be dying in a large number. If you want to be spared from that judgment which is sent of the Most High, then you better start pleasing him. And you better question Christianity as to whether they've been teaching you the truth or not. Don't just dismiss what we're teaching you as false because you don't like what we're saying, because it doesn't make you comfortable, man. You're going to regret that. Seek out your own salvation with fear and trembling. It says that in Philippians 2:12. That's part of the scriptures also. And it's very important that you take heed to that scripture also, man. Now, I just want to quickly explain, because a lot of people out there don't understand what it means by chewing the cud. You know, when I first heard about chewing the cud, this, that, in the scriptures, I was confused myself. I didn't understand what it meant. Now, I'm going to use a cow, for instance. And I'm going to leave a link in the description to the video that I have in mind, because it breaks down exactly what it means by when an animal chews the cud. Okay? But when an animal chews the cud, I'm going to take a cow for instance. A cow has a stomach that has 4 different compartments. Okay? Now, what a cow will do, will chew it will bite the grass like a lawnmower and pull it back into its body, into the first compartment, the first part of the stomach, which is the largest part of the stomach. Now it will just cut it up like a lawnmower would, then pull it back into, you know, like the bag that you have to empty out of a lawnmower. That's what a cow does. It doesn't chew the food, the grass, it just swallows it back, okay? And then it stores it in the first part of the stomach. Now, when the cow's done eating and it's resting, what that cow's insides is doing is the stomach will bring that grass back up, and any debris that ain't meant to be in there, like plastic or wire or nails or rocks, all these things that ain't meant to be in it, that's not grass, it will collect it in the second part of the stomach, the second compartment, okay, out of the 4. And then that will filter out the parts that ain't wanted, and then the parts that is wanted, that grass, the good grass, will come back up into the cow's mouth for it to then later on chew. Their bodies work a whole lot different than ours. It shows the magnificence and the sophistication of the Most High, how He created all these animals and stuff, and how everything works perfectly balanced in nature. But it will then sit there chewing on the grass that it swallowed earlier. And that grass that comes up to the mouth to be chewed, that's called cud. Okay? And that's when an animal chews the cud. Okay? So I just thought I'd break that down a little bit for you. And like I said, I'm going to leave a link in the description for you to watch that video where it'll break it down in a bit more detail so you can watch it for yourself as illustrations and all of that. Okay? So be in the description.